Good morning, District 25 family. Welcome back to the 2022-23 school year. I hope you had a summer filled with rest, relaxation, fun, family, and friends. I am truly honored to have the opportunity to continue serving as your superintendent and to be able to continue to work alongside you to further the goals of our district. Over the past 12 years, we have done incredible work together in service of our students. While there are so many things to celebrate about our work, I also know there is some very exciting, thought-provoking work ahead of us as we continue to emerge from this pandemic. In classic District 25 style, we will come back stronger than ever. We will capture what worked to support our learners during this time and address and repair the learning gaps that have emerged across our nation, our state, our city, and our district during this time. We have to correct the learning loss in order to move forward and further our vision of strong roots for all of our students. And I am confident that together we can change and correct this moment in history. Our collective work moving forward this academic year will be grounded in knowing each and every one of our students well and monitoring, assessing, and elevating our best practices. We will use a strengths-based approach to rebuild, reconnect, and reimagine the school experience for all of our scholars. In alignment with the District 25 mission, vision, and values, we will continue to strive for excellence, equity and diversity, wellness and safety, and empowerment for our schools and students to own learning opportunities and experience. In terms of excellence, our district values support the individual and collective learning of all constituents within the school community. I believe that all students, particularly those furthest from opportunity, deserve deep learning experiences that challenge them to think creatively, to collaborate with peers, to solve complex problems, and to have opportunities to own their learning experience. I believe in empowering educators to learn and grow together so they can foster environments where all students have access to rigorous learning experiences. Through high-quality instruction, curriculum, and personal professional learning, we will build strong foundations and support learning and innovation through high levels of student engagement, critical thinking, problem solving, creativity, and student ownership and agency. In terms of equity and diversity, I believe in the collective responsibility to ensure all students are valued and challenged, and that we see all of our scholars for their strengths and assets. As a district, it is our core value that we build an awareness and appreciation of the communities we serve. Culturally relevant teaching practices encourage us to embed content that allows students to see themselves in their learning, to follow their interests, to collaborate and critique from different perspectives, and to think critically. Across District 25, we embed culturally relevant practices to ensure that we know our students and communities well. Additionally, as we have done in the past, I believe that addressing disproportionality across our schools will improve the outcomes for our students, our staff, and the greater community. In terms of wellness and safety, I believe now more than ever that in order to cultivate citizens of this world, we must leverage student strengths and interests with a focus on social and emotional support. It should be part of everyday learning, inclusive of wellness and safety. I believe in social emotional learning, restorative practices, and healthy living and eating are key to learning for students. In terms of empowerment and engagement, as a district community, we must learn, grow, reflect, and take action individually and collectively to promote ongoing, sustainable improvement across our schools and within our classrooms. That includes collaborative decision-making. I believe educators, students, families, communities, and schools must work together closely to reimagine learning and have opportunities to make decisions about their schools. In order to continue to support empowerment and engagement, we must be intentional about building and sustaining strong relationships that value empathy, compassion, and trust. I also believe in students having a seat at the table in all aspects of decision-making regarding the school experience. As your superintendent, I will consistently model engagement practices, nurture open lines of communication, and a consistent flow of information so our communities can actively involve themselves in making the best decisions for our schools and our students. So how will we do this? By starting off strong. Henry David Thoreau once said, "It's not what you look at that matters, it is what you see." And for us in District 25, it is also about what you do with what you see. In terms of starting off strong, we are strengthening our practices through the strategic review of data. That means everyone is responsible for knowing the needs of our students, both their academic and social emotional needs. And we will use our data to make connections, to connect and practice in support of deepening learning and closing opportunity gaps. Our focus centers on expectations you will recognize, and the expectation is that every school is working collaboratively to unpack work in these areas, to highlight strengths, and to build upon areas that need attention. As a district, we will engage in the strategic analysis of data. We will target areas of need, research and learn the best possible solutions, organize and engage in targeted and aligned professional learning to build our capacity as educators. We will implement what we learn with supports and expectations, and together we will gather and provide feedback and next steps to continue to support us moving forward. Our focus is not only aligned to our beliefs and vision as a district, but to the ideals of our chancellor. Your priorities and areas of acceleration will also be grounded in this work. It is important that we make connections as we plan to the chancellor's 4 pillars of reimagining the student experience, of scaling and sustaining what works across our district, and there is much to be proud of, prioritizing wellness and its impact on student success. Our current data has shown that there is a deep connection to certain areas of DESA and our student proficiency, and we will continue to foster partnerships with parents. His big goals also drive what we do every day. Today you will hear about a focus on reading this year to ensure students are also feeling physically and emotionally safe. It's something that we have valued in District 25 for some time. To focus on students having access to high quality academic experiences and building our practices to ensure that we are contributing to our goal of students having access to skills that will support their pathway to graduation and economic security. It's important that we ensure our families have easy access to information and to people and supports they need to help their children succeed. And we will continue to honor the diversity of our system and our district. Before I turn our meeting over to Dr. D'Antona, I am excited to introduce our new District 25 team members to the District 25 family. For the first time in many years, we have staff to provide direct supports to our schools. They are excited to visit with you and to learn the amazing things happening across the district. And now I'm waiting for the list of names. So as you know, myself as the community superintendent and Dr. D'Antona as the deputy superintendent. Our executive director of operations and supporting in facilities and student services, as well as our principal pipeline, is Beverly Mitchell. Our field support liaison continues to be Louis Latito, and our TDEC continues to be Debbie Winkler. We have a variety of instructional leads that will be working directly with schools to support in the professional learning expectations that I just mentioned. And that is Anna Arrigo, Angelique Hewitt, Melinda Willens, and Dana Stein. We also have 2 academic intervention service coordinators that will be supporting us in AIS and MTSS. That is Arifa Khan and Danielle Bergman. And our APA continues to be Tracy Vaughn. Welcome back, Tracy. And our AZ is Nathan Yakubov. Our multilingual learner service administrators is Richard Braun. We have a district-wide school social worker, Wing Yi Chung. Our family leadership coordinator continues to be Esther Maludo. She is there to support both our parent coordinators as well as our teachers and administrators with supporting parents. Our community coordinator, who is supporting my office with community relations as well as Our work with our local elected officials is Marissa Martin, and Janet Ayala Capo continues to be my administrative assistant. In our district, we have 2 vacancies currently, one which is posted, which is our student services manager. And we also have our family support coordinator who, where our posting will be coming up soon. Finally, I would like to invite everyone to participate in my listening and learning tour across the next 2 months. I will be traveling the district both virtually and in person to get feedback around what we are doing well as a district and what are some of the ways we can improve our work. The information is available for you on our website listed here on this slide. I can't tell you how excited I am for this school year and for us to be back doing what we do best and doing what we love, and that is working together in service of our children. This school year is going to be one of the best ever, and I am so excited for all of us to get to work. And now it is my pleasure to introduce our Deputy Superintendent, Dr. D'Antona, who will be addressing our school goals with our community.
Okay, so it is with great pleasure that I get to share our district priorities with all of you guys this year. First and foremost, as Superintendent Dimango had started off with, I welcome all of you back. I hope you had an amazing summer. For those of you who are working, I hope you did get some time to rest, relax, and enjoy some well-deserved time off with family and friends. Super excited for the start of this school year. As I know that we're going to do amazing things, as always, in District 25. So as we prepare to begin the 22-23 school year, we want to share our priorities and offer opportunities for each of you to provide us with feedback. As you know, if those of you who know me, the starting place for any of our work always begins with the analysis of data. As part of this work in District 25, we reviewed Acadians, iReady, New York State assessments, and the Chancellor's big goals as a means of identifying what we would prioritize this school year. And that led us to a space, as Superintendent Dimango mentioned, in terms of reading, and reading across grade levels, not just something for our early childhood students, but something for across our 3K through 8th grade students in District 25. As part of this work, we plan on continuing the work of equity visits. Many of you were exposed to this work during the 21-22 school year, which is basically a focus on providing inquiry structures in our buildings that attend to the disproportionate outcomes in our schools. So we intend on building that work and continuing to build that work throughout this school year across our schools, with a focus on 2 things: MTSS structures and CRSE, specifically focusing on Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3 practices, as well as within the context of CRSE, what do we know about our students? And how do we take what we know about our students to design lessons and activities to promote improved outcomes for our kids? This is, in a nutshell, where we are going to be going this school year. In order to do that, it's important that we establish a very clear reading culture across our district. Stan Payne from Western Regional Reading First Technical Assistance Center defines a reading culture as how we teach reading, how we select and use instructional materials, how we address individual students' instructional needs, how and when we assess student skills and use assessment information, how we use available instructional time, and how we learn and collaborate with one another. As a district, we encourage all of you to engage in discussions around expectations for reading. Peter Senge explains that a shared vision is essential to building a successful learning organization. District and school-based leaders had an opportunity to review our vision and mission while sharing elements of reading practice that is valued across our schools. As a district, what we established thus far, and would love to hear your feedback, and we'll provide you with an opportunity at the end of these slides to offer that feedback via a form that we created for you to share that information. But as a district, what we established thus far is that we take collective responsibility of supporting our schools to nurture a culture of reading inclusive of strong foundational and advanced reading skills, to empower our students to become critical thinkers and problem solvers, and take ownership of their learning to become citizens of the world. For us as a district, we plan to do that through the following items: multidimensional layers of leadership, common assessments, which you guys know we are using across our district schools, a transparent data system where information is at our fingertips to make really strategic decisions, engagements of cycles of inquiry, i.e. the equity visit process, universal understanding of high quality instruction and use of curriculum materials, database decision-making, MTSS, job-embedded professional development, which is an extremely important part of our work this year, and community and family empowerment. Now, one of the spaces where I do believe is important for all of you in your schools to engage in is, what do you value in relationship to reading practices in your school? And what are the common sets of practices that you're currently using to improve outcomes for our kids? Those are spaces which I encourage you to engage in those important conversations. In order to support our vision for reading across District 25, we have 3 separate groups that we're going to be focusing on. In grades K through 3, we're going to focus on our foundational reading skills, specifically the 5 pillars of reading within the context of foundations and Hegarty. We're also going to be exploring letters training, which is professional development specifically for teachers in the area of reading. Systems and structures for MTSS will also be supported within the context of Tier 1, 2, and 3 instruction strategies. Our district focus for grades 3 to 5 will also be on the 5 pillars of reading, systems and structures for MTSS, as well as a CLAVIS L pilot, which will be for students in grades 4 and 5 that are either transitioning or expanding. 9 of our schools will be engaging in this pilot. And for students and our teachers in grades 6 through 8, we'll be focusing on disciplinary literacy skills and standards, specifically reading to learn, the close reading of complex and compelling text in connection with nonfiction, as well as systems and structures for MTSS. Our schools across the district will have an opportunity to find themselves inside of these priorities so that professional development can be provided as the year goes on. So reflect on the elements that we've added to our vision, mission, and values chart for reading, and revisit current school-based expectations. How are you supporting improvement within your role, whatever role that is in your school? As we do have paraprofessionals on here, we have school aides on here, we have our teachers on here, we have our counselors on here. So within your role, in what way can we support this improvement of reading? What's the current vision for reading within your school community? Are there a common set of practices that are working to build literacy across classrooms? Are you working from a common set of beliefs? John Hattie indicates that the #1 influencer on student achievement is collective efficacy, the belief that together we can positively impact our students. We encourage you to engage in these conversations as school teams to support building continuity and coherence of practice across our classrooms. Our collective commitment to build proficient readers will support college and career readiness. Now, in line with our focus on reading is our District 25 ELA goal, which we are hoping that you provide us with some feedback on as well. Our goal is to engage in cycles of professional learning that are inquiry-based, to target data-driven literacy-based needs of our students to disrupt disproportionate outcomes, resulting in a minimum of a 5% increase in our students meeting or exceeding grade level standards, as evidenced by the tools that we utilize as a district, which is Acadience, iReady, and then certainly at the end of the year, the New York State assessments. In relationship to our math goal, our district math goal is going to be an ongoing one, which we have been building practice over the past several years in these areas, and we want to continue this work. While reading is our focus, that does not mean that mathematics takes a sidestep to that, or any of our other content areas as well. We do plan to continue to build on our data-driven, learner-centered mathematics environment that we have for our kids, promoting rigorous math tasks, productive struggle, and conceptual understanding, resulting in a minimum of a 5% increase across the board, with a specific focus on our disproportionate relationship for our Black and Hispanic students performing outside the sphere of success. So we're going to continue our work in this area and look forward to seeing that progress in our classrooms as the year goes on. Chronic absenteeism, and this is a really, really important space of our work. That is, as we talk about collaboration and we talk about collective responsibility, this is an area that we need to be collectively on board with supporting, as there is a clear relationship to our students and how they perform in relationship to whether or not they are in school. So you'll see on the left-hand side, you'll see the subgroups, all students, American Indian, Asian, and so on. In the middle is what we are held accountable to by the state in terms of the percentage of students that can be chronically, that in order to meet state mandates, can be chronically absent for us to be rated a 2 or higher. And then in the right-hand column, you'll see what our rates were for 2022. And what you will notice is that there is nearly double, we are nearly double the accepted rate for district targets from the 22 data results. So what this means is that as a district, our children are, and for a variety of reasons, and we know that the pandemic is a huge one, but we do need to address these rates. So our school case teams are going to be charged with continuing to support this work, but all of us, every single one of us, needs to think about how we're going to support improved attendance rates for our kids. We know that children even absent 2 days a week, 2 days a month during the school year is equivalent to a child that is chronically absent. We also know that there is a significant impact on student performance. When we look at iReady results, we notice that there is a 26% difference in performance in reading and a 36% difference in math. These are huge differences in student outcomes, which we do need to address and continue to work on addressing as we move through this school year. And that begins right now. That begins in September, so that our kids hit the ground running and we are supporting our families right out of the box. So what does this mean in terms of our goal? It means that by June 2023, our school-based case teams are going to continue to engage in cycles of inquiry to build positive relationships with our students and families to reduce those rates by 50% by the end of the school year. And you might say that is lofty, and maybe it is, but it is something that is necessary for our schools and for our kids to be the best that they can be this school year. Our social emotional learning goal is currently in progress. We are aligning that work to the CARE principles that have been established by the Chancellor. As part of that work, we are unpacking school survey data. We are unpacking our DESA data to establish a goal that aligns as effectively as possible to those areas. So that will be forthcoming within the next couple of weeks. We will share that goal with you guys as well. So we are wishing you guys all an amazing start to the 22-23 school year and are looking forward to seeing and receiving your feedback with the form that you see attached to this presentation. There is a QR code so that you can use a device to capture that link, or if you are following along with the presentation, you're welcome to click the link that is present there for you.
Yep. Thank you, everyone. I am so excited for tomorrow. Tomorrow is a new day for us. We will come back stronger. We will come back better. We will deepen our roots as we welcome our students. I know that everyone on here today are the right people to do this work. We have some of the most amazing cultures, the best leaders, the most amazing teachers, support staff, our guidance counselors, our school aides. Let's bring our students back to the best year ever. Welcome back to the 2022-23 school year, and I hope to see you soon.
Welcome back, everyone. Have a great day.